continue to pollute the water reserves on the island, Santa Rosa says we can expect the worst. Plus, in today's lifestyle segment, staring too much into the light on smartphones, tablets, and computers could damage your eyesight. And open spaces in a community is just as vital for a populated city like New York City to a small island like Aruba. 15 on 15 starts right now. Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Yentl Lieuw. The water in the dams and reserves on the island are used by Santa Rosa. Currently, the Department of Agriculture is faced with the situation of pollution in the water reserves, which poses as a huge problem. The director of Santa Rosa says if garbage continues to be dumped at the reserves, we can expect the worst. People are dumping their personal garbage in and near the water reserves. The pollution has a direct impact on Santa Rosa, since the Department of Agriculture uses this water for many purposes.
As the water reserves, the water level was going down, we started to see a lot of junk in the water reserves, and this it's a very dangerous situation because Santa Rosa uses this water not only for irrigation purposes but also to help farmers that do have goats and sheep and cattle, and that's why now what we're doing is we're starting to clean what we can clean. So we're doing the maintenance work on these water reserves.
The public has a role to play here. If you witness anyone polluting, Santa Rosa asks you to inform authorities.
It takes the whole community to help us to maintain our water reserves, because now is where people realize the importance of water, not only for us, but for you have the flora, you have the fauna.
If the garbage trend continues, Santa Rosa is expecting the worst, and it will ultimately be a huge problem for the island.
You see many of, for example, the water reserve at Pavia. It's filled with, birds and fishes, and it's a pity that, if it continues like this, that on the long run, they won't have any water available there either. So.
New York City is the most populated city in the United States and is one of the most populous urban agglomerations in the world. So you may be asking yourself, how can Aruba see NYC as an example when it comes to creating open spaces for the community? Prime Minister Mike Amon was in New York meeting with delegations, part of city's urban planning, for ideas on how the island and the city can work off one another. An urban planner for New York City says they have new approaches to get people to leave the house and enjoy public open spaces. According to him, trial and error in urban designing is key.
New York has done a great job in the past couple years of really reclaiming a lot of the concrete and asphalt and turning them into green spaces and public spaces that people love. So I think one of the things that Aruba can look at is how quickly New York does this. They go with temporary materials and they'll put out a public space and see how it operates before they make it permanent. So they'll look at and see how people are using the public spaces and then go back later and make them permanent. So something that Aruba can do is try some of these temporary public spaces to see how people respond to them.
Speaking of getting out of the house, it was an exciting weekend on Eagle Beach. Beach tennis, Aruba's monthly International Tennis Federation tournament, took place on Saturday and Sunday. ATV's Kadoji Cock and I were present to find out how hosting an official ITF Grade 4 event benefits the island's beach tennis potential. Beach Tennis Aruba has been hosting a monthly Eagle Beach tournament for a few years now. However, it wasn't only until 2 months ago that players in the open category could earn ITF ranking points, meaning players on the island can take these points and use them to their advantage when traveling around the world to play beach tennis tournaments. The more points competitors have, the more priority they have over others. It goes beyond that. Having an ITF Grade 4 ranking also attracts beach tennis players from around the world to come here to add to their resume, which ultimately benefits our tourism. Coming up this week, we will learn more about the International Tennis Federation ranking system as to how it works. The number 16th pro female beach tennis player in the world will break it all down for us, so be sure to tune in to 15 on 15 all week long. When we come back, we've got great lifestyle topics today. We will get into how opticians are saying that looking at your computers, tablets, and smartphones could be very harmful to your eyesight. Also, women complaining and being critical about their image. Now, we all do it, but experts are saying the damage being done when we do this goes beyond what we think. Also, how would you like to take a picture of something on your Instagram, then printing it out and using it as some sort of a nail polish? All that and more coming up, so stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Smartphone users, beware. Overuse of the device can damage eyes. This is according to opticians. Long-term eye problems is on the line here. Opticians are warning overuse from phones and other devices such as computers, tablets, and flat-screen TVs can lead to long-term damage for your eyes. A survey conducted with 2,000 people found those under 25 years old check their phones 32 times a day. That's a lot. Blue-violet light is potentially hazardous and toxic to the back of your eyes, so over a long period of time, it can potentially damage your eyes. Experts say when you are looking at a smartphone, the light peeking out of that is called blue-violet, and that ultimately can damage your eyes long-term. Moving forward, ladies, when was the last time you complained about your hair or vented to a friend about a particularly huge pimple? Chances are it wasn't too long ago. According to a recent survey conducted by Today and AOL, 77% of adult women complained about their appearance to someone at least once in the past month. It might not seem like a huge deal, but it can actually have some pretty damaging side effects. It comes down to negative self-talk, and when we hear it, we internalize it, experts say. The self-deprecation may just be about your looks, but it tends to permeate into other areas of our lives. The nagging, nitpicky voice in your head starts popping up a lot more often. Here is the really bad news. It is actually contagious. When a friend disses her outfit, most of us instinctively fire back with something we don't like about our looks. It becomes almost like a contest, which is not healthy. Moving over to the world of Instagram and apps, have you ever seen a unique pattern or color combination that you'd love to take a picture of and put them on your nails? Well, probably not, but an innovative entrepreneur has thought of it and called it nail snaps. Take a look at this Instagram-inspired app. It is simply nail art that imitates life with Instagram photo manicures. The soon-to-launch app allows you to transform your favorite Instagram shots into a set of nail wraps. The brain behind this app says she was noticing how people were printing out their Instagrams, so she thought about bringing Instagram photos into the physical world. This is how it works. The app allows you to upload pictures as one continuous image with a different part of the photo appearing on each digit. Or you can simply do the same picture repeated on all 5 nails. Once you print these designs, it can last up to a week or longer, so perfect for your nails. The project is looking for $47,000 on Kickstarter. If you believe in the project, people right here on the island can make your donation on the Kickstarter page. Go to www.kickstarter.com to fund it. Let's take a break. Here's what's coming up next. Since Prime Minister Ayman was recently in New York City meeting with urban designers and public space directors, we were able to find out what a few American delegations believe NYC has in common with the island. More importantly, they disclose how they feel the two can benefit from adopting each other's concepts and integrating it into their community. The Aruban delegation met with a few New York City urban planners. Emily Weddinghoff, the director of the Plaza Project program, explains how certain projects Aruba is working on is similar to New York City's.
There seems to be a lot of similarities in terms of community activity, festivals, creating public spaces that can really activate the streets and bring communities together. And so I think we see a lot of similarities in creating plazas in New York City as well as creating public spaces in Aruba.
The key here to a successful community project is for the public sector and the people to cooperate and work together. An efficient partnership between the public and private sector together with the people is vital in accomplishing a new movement.
A lot of what we've seen here with the development of plazas in New York City is that with a little bit of public sector investment and communities really engaging and creating quality spaces in their neighborhood, that the private sector jumps on board and we see growth in businesses, in retail sales, and investment in private property. And that's something that's very exciting about what Aruba is looking to bring, is how this public investment in the public realm, in the streets, and creating quality streets for people, how that can then spur and activate private development. And I think that's a great vision.
New York City is the most populated city in the United States. Meanwhile, Aruba is overpopulated itself. The two have more in common than originally thought, therefore exchanging ideas and information on how to further develop the remaining space both places have is useful.
You know, I think we, over the past several years, we've had a lot of successes in plazas, streetscapes, and developing a toolkit for the city that are applicable to Aruba. I think the interchange also in learning from other places helps to inform our process too here, so I think it could be really fruitful.
Open space and open air is the engine that drives a city. Therefore, policymakers need to make an effort to place designing open spaces as a priority for the community.
It's the lungs of the city, and I think the more we can infuse it with greenery, with open spaces and plazas for people to engage in the city, it's beneficial all around for citywide.
That is our show for today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back here with a brand new edition of 15 on 15 starting Tuesday night at 7:15 p.m. right here on channel 15 ATV. So we'll see you then.